This week on Here for the Right Reasons, Tayshia and Ivan have an emotional one-on-one as they open up about Black Lives Matter.
It's so tough, I get it.
But it just affects me really, I don't know why it does so much, but it hurts a lot.
And Tayshia's integrity is questioned as a game of truth or dare is taken to a whole other level.
Okay, I dare you to give us your best orgasm for 1 minute through the hotel phone.
Plus, Chris Harrison teases Tayshia's family drama.
Amazing people. Her dad definitely was not shy about expressing his opinion on his daughter in those relationships. And look, I get it. I am a father of a daughter and I will be the same way.
We've got that plus so much more on today's Here for the Right Reasons. Hey guys, Christina Garibaldi here with Us Weekly senior writer Sarah Heron. Hi Sarah, how are you?
Hi, Christina. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. I can't believe it is Thanksgiving.
It is Thanksgiving. We have so much to be thankful for, including another episode of The Bachelorette. We had honest conversations. We were uncomfortable. And of course, there was drama.
Of course, there's always drama. So let's get right to it. Let's get to our bracket of roses and kick it off with Tayshia and Ivan's vulnerable conversation. Take a look at this.
Hearing people yell Black Lives Matter is just it hit me more than I realized, just because those are people in my backyard that I've been trying to prove for so long that I'm the same as them.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like this is the first time in a long time, maybe ever in Bachelor history, that we've had a real, honest conversation.
Honestly, I totally agree. It's so crazy. I feel like one of the criticisms of the show is always, how are we supposed to, believe in this couple if we've never seen them talk about religion or, how they want to raise their kids or race or issues that are happening in the world. Especially, I feel like racial injustice and things going on, it felt so real, so 2020. The Bachelor was kind of like a fantasy world, and this was the first time I feel like we were talking about things that were happening in the outside world.
Yes, no, you're so right. And I mean, when this was filmed, obviously it's still the height of everything going on, but this is right when George Floyd happened, right when Black Lives Matter was really getting going, and you just see how much this has taken a toll on them and how much they're affected and how it affects their personal lives. And, even coming on the show, if, dealing with their families and things like that, it's a lot for them to deal with. And it's nice that they were able to have this moment and for everybody to see, because I think that, having these conversations is so important.
Yeah, The Bachelor reaches a huge audience, and I think, people forget that sometimes, and they always want it to be silly, and they don't understand why it's important to, have diversity on the show, and it's just a reality show. But it's so much more than a reality show, and these are the moments when you kind of see that and the impact it has. And looking at it, I guess I didn't even think about this, but it would have been kind of crazy if, Tayshia and her other contestants, they didn't talk about this because it was such an important thing. And obviously Tayshia's our second, Black Bachelorette, and it makes so much sense. And it was it just worked really well. It didn't feel forced. It seemed genuine, obviously, between the two of them. And it was a lot, but it was good.
It was good. And I went online to see, what the reaction was from, everybody watching, and everyone is like, finally, thank God they are having this conversation and we're having a real moment that so many people can relate to. And I think everybody is on Team Ivan now. They are it
was so hard not to be.
No, everyone was like, pull a Claire and Dale. Let's wrap this up.
It's so funny because I feel like Ivan, he's going to be the one that we all love, and then he gets his heart broken, and it's going to be so sad. I just feel it. I feel it in me, and it's so funny because, every year there's always a few I like, but I'm not always so convinced that they're going to be good for the lead. Yeah. Even if I'm a fan of the person, I want them to do The Bachelor or whatever, but I usually know who I want the lead to end up with. And I feel like I have 4 couples and couplings, and I'm like, Tayshia, I feel like she could be with a lot of these guys. I'm feeling it.
I agree with you. And I think that some of those guys, it has to be maybe Zach. We've talked about him a couple times. We've talked about Ben. We've talked about Brendan. Like you said, it seems like she has 4 solid relationships kind of going, and it could really go either way.
Yeah, and the Brendan of it all, it's we started to keep an eye on him because they're not showing him, which is probably why he's going to be at the dark horse. Because after that first date where she said he could be her husband, we can't forget about that. We got to keep bringing that up because I don't think he's going anywhere.
I don't think he's going anywhere either. What do we think about Bennett? Do we think that she really likes him, or is she just fascinated with his whole aura, I guess.
I think it's the aura. It's the fascination. We've heard Lead say before that, you know, you have to keep a lot of guys around. Unless you're Claire, you got to keep the numbers to a certain extent, right? And they keep people who they're interested in. He reminds me of like a Wells. Like, who doesn't want to be around Bennett or Wells? They're just interesting people. They're very different, but it's like, if I was the lead, I'd probably keep a guy like that around too, just because they're probably fun to talk to. Yeah. They are bringing entertainment. I'm sure the producers are like, we like Bennett, keep it going, because he might have more screen time than anyone else the whole season.
Anybody. And I don't know if she like really sees him as like a romantic interest, maybe more as just like somebody fun to keep around for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, they had a little bit of a moment during that one-on-one, that group date in the bed last week. This week it was much more like he kind of steers the drama. He's like the dad of the house almost. He's like sitting down his kids. He's like, no, I'm disappointed in you. And Tayshia, you're doing great, sweetie. Like, he's kind of just like the leader. He's like Chris Harrison's like watchdog.
That's so true. Well, but you brought up a good point. He was like such a dad during that Noah moment when he was like, "You're being very immature right now." Like, but it was so true. I like actually felt like Noah was like a 14-year-old. Like, they were just like fighting with a teenager. But let's talk about Noah, because he decided to stir the pot by telling Tayshia that the guys, you know, in the house were questioning her integrity, and Tayshia was not having it. So take a look.
I'm a grown woman and I can make decisions based off of what I want to do. And if you're gonna be questioning me, like, I'll gladly walk you outside.
I'm glad the guys did call him out on it, because they were like, where did this come from?
It escalated so quickly. Even like Tayshia's reaction, I understand she was frustrated, but I almost even feel like they both jumped to conclusions. Like, I feel like Noah was just throwing something out there, and then Tayshia was like, oh, so they're questioning me? He's like, yes, that's it. How'd you figured it out? Like, he didn't even know what he was trying to say. He was just trying to stir the pot and get drama, and then she drew that conclusion, which I know why she did, because he was kind of saying, like, they don't understand why I got a rose. Like, what the heck? And I think they were more saying it like, we don't like him. Why'd you give him a rose? And she took it as, oh, you're questioning every rose I've ever handed out because you're questioning this Noah rose. And the integrity of the show, I think it was more about versus Tayshia.
Sure, yeah. And I love the way that she handled it too. She was like, if you are questioning me, I will show you the door, because I'm not here for this. And that's so true. I mean, she's not going to hand out roses just to create drama in the house. I mean,
and it's one rose. Like, why are we going to get upset? There's still a rose ceremony. It's not like he even got the last rose of the night, like the drama. Like, it was just a random group date rose. It's also really throwing me off the way the episodes have been. So, like, the weeks are merging in. Yes. Like, this was the first time we finally got a rose ceremony at the end, so we can start fresh next week. But I'm like, where are we? Who has a rose? Like, it's so weird.
That's so weird. Because I remember somebody said last night that we were only in the second rose ceremony. I'm like, really? That's it?
Yeah. So it's weird that they're all getting so upset still. But the hair flip scene around the world, I mean, we got to give it to Tayshia. She's good at being the Bachelorette in a way that Claire definitely couldn't have handled.
No, I think Tayshia's doing a really good job, especially being called in last minute, not really having time to fully probably mentally prepare for all of this. I think she's handling herself really well. And
yeah,
I was a little on the fence after, before this week's episode. I was like, I don't know about this. But after this week, I'm like kind of like recharged about it. I'm like, all right, I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah, there's a lot of connections to be invested in, like we were saying. There's still some drama. It's just like a classic season of The Bachelorette. And based on that promo, like, we have a lot of tears and heartbreak and drama to come, and I'm so excited.
I'm so here for it. Well, speaking of drama, the issue of family came up a lot in this episode, and especially in the teaser, we see that as well, with Tayshia opening up about her dad.
That's right. And I recently talked to Chris Harrison, and of course I had to ask him all about her dad, everything else we're going to see, that ex-husband theory that was going around on TikTok. Here is Chris Harrison, the one and only, clearing it all up. We see a lot of tears to come, I think. Safe to say it's going to be an emotional ending for Tayshia.
For sure. I mean, this is more of a typical Bachelorette season where you are getting to know this great group of guys. There are some serious, strong feelings being formed on both sides. Tayshia is one that was really ready for this and really relished the opportunity. And she's not letting it go. She's going to take full advantage of it, which means really letting go with all these guys and forming a lot of strong feelings in different relationships. And that will obviously create drama.
And we see her dad maybe get a little bit in the drama, which I love that we were able to get her parents involved, and bring them in, because I'm sure that was a question too. So what can you tease me about Tayshia's parents showing up?
I will just say this: amazing people. Her dad definitely was not shy about expressing his opinion on his daughter. in those relationships. And look, I get it. I am a father of a daughter, and I will be the same way. Probably won't be on camera, but I'll be the same way.
Is your daughter going to be Bachelorette one day?
No.
There's a viral theme about that Tayshia's ex-husband was going to show up because of this like promo. What was that?
Okay, that was not us. Okay, can I just clear this up? That had nothing to do with The Bachelor. That was not us. His name somehow showed up on a closed captioning. Right? That's the thing. We don't do that. We have a transcript that goes along, but our transcript, I looked at it. I actually did the research. I'm like, what is this? And I don't know where it came from. It wasn't us. It's not in our transcript. Local cable companies, every local cable company can do their own and implement their own transcript. So clearly it came from somewhere out in the world, but it had zero to do with us. I can promise you, I actually did some research, looked into it. I had them send me the transcript, and they're like, look, here it is, man. It's not us.
Thank God for Chris Harrison.
I mean, what a role he had in this episode.
Seriously. I love how he's just eating crab legs and sipping champagne for lunch.
I've always been jealous of that guy.
Seriously, he's got the best job in the world.
I know.
He really does. All right, well, let's move on to our cringe of the week. This may be hands down the most awkward moment in Bachelorette history. I don't even want to say what it is, so let's just take a look.
Oh, baby!
Get it!
Oh,
I don't like
feel that.
Wow, he's flexible. He's bendy.
You ready?
It made me feel very uncomfortable watching it.
You know, there's always a few group date challenges and stuff that just make us, you know, cringe at home, and I think that's the point. And it's to see these guys in a funny light, and sometimes it goes too far, and it's just weird.
It is. It was just weird. It's pretty much how it is. Just weird. What else went down?
Well, we also had our one-on-one secret mission situation, which we, you know, brought up Chris Harrison before, and we had Ben, who, you know, I've professed my love to now several times, and Ed, who I have done the opposite for, both hunting for Tayshia at 2:30 in the morning, apparently. And I guess this resort is bigger than we thought because, while Ed found Chris Harrison, Ben found Tayshia.
Poor Ed. I mean, I did feel a little, well, I didn't really feel bad for him that much in this situation because our producers pulled a fast one on him. And Tayshia looking like fresh, full face of makeup at 2:30 in the morning. That is not how I look at 2:30 in the morning.
No, I mean, Chris Harrison had like a bottle of wine ready. Tayshia was like, she's just glowing this whole episode. Ben and her like really solidified a little bit of a bond there. I was happy for him because I feel like the guy lost hours off his life because he was so stressed about not talking to her at the last cocktail party. So I'm happy for Ben. And as far as Ed is concerned, I just don't understand why he's still here. Like, I know that's not very nice, but he served his purpose. He like had a little bit of drama. But when she kept him at the end, I was like, are we kidding here? Like, over Jason, who, you know, we didn't even get to wrap up his storyline. He was questioned last week. And where is the conclusion? He's going home, but we're still Ed.
I know. It's like, I love how The Bachelor does that. They like create all this drama and then the next week you forget it even happens.
Right. And even Dr. Joe, obviously, justice for Dr. Joe. He is like that would be another person who, even if she doesn't have a romantic connection with, like, I would want around because he's smart, he's cute, he like, I don't know, he seems like just a genuinely nice human. Whereas Ed, I just feel like they're reaching, I don't know why there's been so much Ed on my TV screen.
I have no idea. He's not even that exciting. He's not, like, the drama that he causes isn't even that great.
I know, and clearly we're shifting towards a Bennett versus Noah, like, 2-on-1 drama. So we don't need Ed for that. Ed does not need to be here, but I feel like he probably was so nervous during his chat with Chris Harrison because it's like, you're going to use this. It's Chris Harrison, like, and he was probably like, it was like being called to the principal's office. Like, he didn't know what to do. He was like, nice to meet you. Like, the guys don't spend time with Chris Harrison on The Bachelorette until you're the lead.
That had to be the most awkward one-on-one of all time.
I know. Poor Chris. I was like, justice for Chris Harrison having to spend so much time with Ed.
Seriously. All right. Moving on to our Where Are They Now segment. We got a little blast from the past last night.
Yes, we're finally seeing all the faces that we've been wondering if they were in Palm Springs and why they were there. Obviously, former Bachelorette Becca Kufrin and everyone was like speculating about her relationship with Garrett all summer, and then we saw her in Palm Springs, and I was like, all right, is this like a panel of Bachelorette situation? No, she was just there with Sydney, who was on Colton's season with Tayshia, to help host this awkward Truth or Dare date. But their love lives have had a lot of changes, too.
They have. Well, as we know, Sydney, we'll start with Sydney. She tried finding love on Paradise after Colton's season, and now she is dating a guy that slid into her DMs. He was a fan of hers from being on the show, and they now live together after just 3 months of dating.
Wow, I mean, 2020, right? I think I can only imagine the DMs that go down after The Bachelor and Bachelorette. Like, people must get from celebrities as fans to people trying to date you. It's like, I think it should be a coffee table book, just like Bachelor DMs. And I would love to know the line that this guy used to work. So I'm happy for that.
Something worked, and they're going strong, living together. So good for them. And then as for Becca, as we know, she went through a very public breakup with Garrett over the summer. She is now living in Los Angeles and doing her Bachelor Happy Hour podcast. But there's some news from Garrett, right?
Yes, Garrett has moved on. He has a girlfriend, and her name is Alex Ferrari, and they are packing on the PDA on social media. They've been traveling together. I talked to Rachel Lindsay recently, and she threw a little dig at Garrett and was like, Becca's taking her time moving on. She has people she wants to set up to date, but she said something like, she's taking her time on like some people. And I was like, oh, Rachel has her back. I love it. I love a little shade.
I love it. It was, in my opinion, a little soon to be public on social media about a new relationship, but
yeah, I think it's interesting because obviously all summer we knew we were like questioning whether they were together. So who knows like how soon they actually broke up. But for the public, it was like September 1st was like, so it was a little weird to have, Halloween, have a new girl, but that's The Bachelor.
That is The Bachelor. All right. Well, Sarah, thank you for running down all things Bachelorette with me.
Thank you, Christina. I can't wait. We've got so much more to come. I can feel it. It's going to get good.
It's going to get real good. And of course, we're going to break it down each Wednesday on Us Weekly's YouTube channel. So make sure you check out Here for the Right Reasons and head on over to usmagazine.com for all your Bachelor needs. Sarah and I will see you next week.
Bye.